Welcome back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB The Show 20. As today, season number 4 is set to kick off. We got opening day against the Cincinnati Reds and then another game later in the episode at Fenway against the Boston Red Sox. Obviously, last year was a very successful season, winning 162 games, one win away from the World Series. If you missed the off-season episode, I recommend you check it out. I will put a card at the top right, and if I forget to put a card at the top right, you can always check the playlist because it'll be there as well. I uploaded the off-season this past Tuesday, and then on Thursday, I live-streamed the spring training games over on Twitch. If you're not following me on Twitch, I recommend you go ahead and do so. So here's a quick rundown of our call-ups and call-downs. Pretty much what you would expect. No real surprises, I would say, from spring training. Now, there are a few top prospects like Santiago Osuna, like Wander Franco, like Pablo Cairo, who I do plan on having them have a majority of their seasons in the big leagues. However, I do have those three guys starting their seasons in the minor leagues with the intention of calling them up probably towards like late April or something, assuming they're playing well enough in the minor leagues. So that's the plan with them. We will go over the minor league opening days next episode, by the way. We also made a quick contract extension. Going to be paying Jameson Taillon 3 years, around $20 million. He was projected to be a free agent this offseason, and I didn't want to let him go. He's been our ace. So I made a mistake with the initial call-ups and call-downs. We had too many pitchers on the big league squad, so I also cut Richard Rodriguez, or I shouldn't say cut him, but I sent him down to AAA. So here's a look at the lineups we'll be rocking with to start the season off. Now, obviously, we'll have guys like Wander Franco, Pablo Cairo come in. They'll be, for the most part, everyday players. So that'll mean guys like Hanser Alberto, Tony Kemp, Travis Swaggerty, probably Andrew McCutchen even. They will all be primarily bench bats for most of the season, but for right now, until those guys are called up, they'll be in the big leagues. And then same thing with the starting rotation. Once Santiago Osuna's here, Brendan Waddle will probably go back to his long reliever role. But for right now, he will be our number 5 starter. The other 4 starters, all members of our squad last season. Obviously, Joe Musgrove no longer here. He was traded to the Seattle Mariners as one of our many off-season moves. So here we go, 2023 opening day here at PNC Park against the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds finished in the basement of the division last season and hope to try to restore any form of relevance as they don't want to continue to be mediocre. Here's a look at both lineups for today's Game 1-9 regular starters for the Pirates in this one. Travis Swaggerty will be making his Major League debut for the Pirates. Kyle Isbell will be making his debut for the Cincinnati Reds. Hopefully this game can kickstart another great season of Pirates baseball as we take a quick look over beautiful PNC Park, one of the top stadiums in all of baseball. On the mound for the Pirates is the ace, Jameson Taillon, the now $60 million man. Taillon had an awesome season last year. He did kind of struggle in the postseason. In 3 starts, he wasn't great in any of them, but was phenomenal in the regular season, and I think has warranted this contract extension with all the ups and downs he's had throughout his career. As Nick Castellanos up at the plate with 2 outs here in the top of the first, rips that one into right center field for extra bases. The Reds with a quick base runner as they try to start this game and this season off hot. Next up, Eugenio Suarez, the power-hitting third baseman, going to strike out on the fastball, ending the inning for Joe Musgrove and the Crews. We go to the bottom of the first. On the mound today for the Reds is their ace, Luis Castillo, who didn't put up ace numbers last year, but was still good. 3.63 ERA, 1.3 whip. Not great, but certainly not bad by any stretch of the imagination as O'Neill Cruz up at the plate. That one will be fielded, but not fielded cleanly, and that'll be a base hit for Cruz. Solid defense at second. I mean, that was a tough play for him to make, so can't really blame him for allowing that base hit. Josh Bell now up at the plate. Bell was second in the NL MVP voting last year behind Juan Soto, as that will be a double in the right center gap. O'Neill Cruz will score from first, and the Pittsburgh Pirates will take a 1-0 lead. Very nice start to the season for Josh Bell. He is officially on the contract extension that he signed last year. He'll be making around $4-ish million this season. His contract is very front-loaded for what it's worth, as Dylan Carlson flies out, ending the inning. But still a successful one for the Pirates as they put up a run on the board. No shutout today to start this season off. Let's move over to the second inning. C.J. Cron up at the plate, and look at the outside 12-6 curve and draw a walk. So that'll put a quick runner on. And nobody out for the catcher, Zach Collins, who crushes it in a right center field, and that ball will go over the seats into the Allegheny. Collins with obviously his first home run of the season, and the Cincinnati Reds will now make it 2-1. Good start for Collins, not known as a premier hitter, but I mean, hey, maybe this can be a renaissance season for him. Phillip Ervin now up at the plate later in the second inning. Reds aren't done yet. Ervin, shopping cap in a right center field. That should draw up for extra bases, as Ervin will be safe at second with a stand-up one-out double as Cincinnati tries to extend their lead. Kyle Isbell, a rookie, now up at the plate. He has an opportunity here in his first Major League game, second Major League at bat, and he is not successful. So he grounds out to second, but I mean, still a good inning for the Reds. They put up 2 on the board. So we move to the bottom of the second. Tony Kemp, he was acquired in a trade with the Oakland A's. That ball is hit high and deep and right at the wall, but it would be caught for the first out of the inning. Travis Swaggerty now up, his first Major League at bat, and it is a strikeout looking on the outside slider. That ball was, I mean, was it in the zone? That was close. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let's move on to the third inning now. Nick Castellanos, he had a base hit earlier in the game. He's going to strike out this time. A number of former Detroit Tigers on this Reds team. Obviously Castellanos, Eugenio Suarez, who's up at the plate now. He was with the Tigers for a short time. C.J. Cron as well, as Eugenio Suarez will strike out for a second time today. And we move to the bottom of the third inning. Jameson Taillon up at the plate. Obviously, he's a pitcher. He's not known for his bat, but he's going to open up the season with a base hit. Taillon has a batting average for 1,000 on the campaign. Rather impressive. However, he would have some trouble scoring as O'Neal Cruz strikes out. Josh Bell now up at the plate. Can Bell drive him in? Well, hey, that's a good start. Single into right field. Taillon barely safe at second, so that'll put a pair of runners on and 2 outs for Benny Ling. Benny Ling making his debut at third base after being the first baseman last year, as that ball is hit deep into left field. Does it have the distance? Go, ball, go! It's over the fence. Everybody's favorite Japanese phenom, Benny Ling, goes deep. He hit 35 home runs as a 19-year-old rookie last year. Now in his 20-year-old season, hopefully he can continue to improve. Here's C.J. Cron striking out. Jameson Taillon starting to get into a little bit of a groove. Zach Collins now up at the plate. He had the home run earlier, and he better double check that swing. Can Taillon have the perfect inning? The answer is not quite a yes, as Jonathan India, former top 5 draft pick, with an extra base hit. Bad defense over and right by Dylan Carlson, and that'll be a double for India. Phillip Ervin now up at the plate. He swings at a low fastball, swung way too early, so the double for the Reds means pretty much nothing. As we go to the bottom of the fourth, Travis Swaggerty this time is going fishing. Didn't catch anything with that bait, as that'll end the fourth inning. 4-2, Pirates still lead as we advance now to the fifth inning. Nick Senzel, another former top draft pick, up to the plate. He's going to strike out. Jameson Taillon with 3 straight scoreless innings. He is really starting to cook as we go to the bottom of the fifth now. Brian Hayes up at the plate. He is actually pinch hitting for Jameson Taillon. Taillon's pitch count was really high, so they're going to have a pinch hitter now as Hayes rips the single. Brian Reynolds now up at the plate. He's going to hit a single himself, so that'll put 2 runners on for the Pirates and nobody out. Prime opportunity to do some damage as the Reds make a pitching change. T.J. Antoine is in. He was not good last year, to say the least, as you can tell by his numbers. Here's O'Neal Cruz, rips this one into center. Hayes rounding third. He would be safe easily. However, the same could not be said for Brian Reynolds, who is going to be tagged out. He was thinking about 3, went back to second. He is out. But O'Neal Cruz does drive in the run, so it's all good. On to the 6th for rookie Adonis Medina in the game. This is his Major League debut. His first batter of his career is Nicolas Castellanos. And Medina got him fooled on the slider, more blind than Helen Keller. That's his first Major League strikeout. As here is a Eugenio Suarez now with a single into right field. Maybe the Reds can start a little bit of a rally. Who knows? That would actually be ruled an error on Josh Bell. Zach Collins now up at the plate. He's gone yard once today. That ball is hit deep into right center. It goes off the wall. Reynolds makes a bad play on it. Carlson chasing after it as Collins is going to head to the plate, and he is safe. Eugenio Suarez was already safe. That is an inside the park home run for Zach Collins, and it is now 5-4. Collins' second home run of the day. This one a little bit more out of the ordinary than his first one. Now we got Jonathan India. Bad defense by Brian Reynolds. Not great defense being displayed today by the Pirates. These guys are still certainly rusty. So we go to the bottom of 6. Tony Kemp. That ball was outside if you ask me. But he's just a window shopper because he's just looking. Francisco Mejia now up to the plate. Trying to go Oppo Popo as that one. It's going to be close and it barely stays fair. Francisco Mejia with his first home run of the season. He hit 30 Daniels last year, a career high for Mejia. Now we got Andrew McCutchen. His first at bat back in Pittsburgh, by the way, after a number of seasons on different teams, including the Giants, the Yankees for a very short time, the Phillies. He would fly out to Castellanos as we go to the next inning. Pedro Baez is in for the Pirates. This is his Pittsburgh debut after having a very solid 8-year career with the LA Dodgers. Now with a new team, and his first batter as a Pirate, well, it won't be too successful. James McCann, the pinch hitter, goes deep into straightaway center, and it is now 5-6. Not really the start Pedro Baez wanted with a new team, but hey, he gets Nick Senzel, Ron Nick, 2 strikeout. Jesse Biddle is now in for Cincinnati as we go to the 7th. Here's Josh Bell hitting from the right side of the plate. Hits that one deep into left field over the fence for a home run as Bell, with his first of the campaign, coming off a 49 home run season last year. Josh Bell's obviously been a home run machine these past few seasons. Is to open up the 8th inning. The Reds draw a walk. Zach Collins now up at the plate. He's gone yard twice today. However, he will only strike out. Jonathan India now up 3-1 count. That one gets right by Pedro Baez for a single. So now 2 runners on, 2 outs. This could get ugly if Pittsburgh does not get this batter out. It's Phillip Ervin. 1-2 pitch. He's going to go down on the low fastball, ending the inning as Baez gets out of a jam. And we move to the bottom of the 8th. Francisco Mejia up at the plate. He went yard in his last at bat. Not going to go deep, but he does hit a single there to make it 5-7. Travis Swaggerty up. Swaggerty actually had his first Major League hit earlier in the game. The clip did not save, unfortunately, so that sucks. He actually scored, I think, back in the 6th inning as he strikes out there. Ken Giles now enters here in the 9th inning on for the save as the Reds are going to put a runner on base. Since they're down by 2, the tying run is at the plate. That's actually going to be a double for Cincinnati. That came off the bat of Kyle Isbell, his first Major League hit. And here's another hit. This one goes into center. Isbell will not try to score, interestingly enough. But now the go-ahead run is up at the plate. It's Eugenio Suarez. We know he has some pop. However, he strikes out on the outside slider. Giles gets out of a jam, and the Pirates win this game by a final score of 7-5. They will open up the 2023 season with a record of 1-0. This game was ugly at times, especially defensively. There were some bad defensive plays. But one error, I don't even think was really an error, and there were just some bad plays in the outfield. I would say our bats were pretty good in this one. 12 hits, 7 runs. I think we went yard twice, so you'll always take that. The pitching was serviceable. Jamison Tyone was decent. The bullpen did their job for the most part. I mean, you can't really blame them for 2 of those runs. That was just awful defense by Brian Reynolds and Dylan Carlson. It's out of the second game of the episode in Fenway, in Boston, taking on the Boston Red Sox. Yeah, I know my Boston accent is not the greatest. Or maybe it is, I don't know. The Pirates actually swept the Reds, so their record is now 3-0, taking on the 2-2 Red Sox, who, of course, won the World Series last year. So the Pirates taking on the defending champs. This could have been last year's World Series had the Pirates not choked in Game 7 of the NLCS. Here's a look at both lineups. Of course, the DH is implemented since this is American League Park, as Peter Lambert gets his first start of the year for Boston. He had a nice whip at 1.69, wink, wink. Runner on first, nobody out for O'Neal Cruz. Pirates trying to start this game off with a bang as Cruz gets that one off for right field wall for a double. Reynolds slides safe at third. So that'll put runners in scoring position and nobody out for Josh Bell. Bell currently leads the National League in batting average at .667 up to this point. He will not improve his batting average, but it does not go down as he draws a walk. And the bases are now juiced for Benny Lang, who hits this one fairly deep into center. It will be caught. However, Brian Reynolds would score safely, and the Pirates will take a 1-0 lead. Mitch Keller gets the start for Pittsburgh. Keller had a breakout season last year with a sub-3 ERA. He also pitched very well in the playoffs, including a complete game shutout back in Game 2 of the NLCS last year, as Michael Conforto leads it off at the bottom of the second. Conforto was the AL playoff MVP last year, and got paid accordingly in the offseason. Benny Lang now up in the third. That is going to be a single. O'Neal Cruz at the plate is gunned down. This right fielder is a part-time ball player, full-time sniper. Dylan Carlson now up at the plate. He's shopping gap into left center field. Josh Bell scores easily, so does Benny Lang. That'll be a 2-run double for Dylan Carlson, and the Pittsburgh Pirates will take a 3-0 lead. Carlson's second double of the season as we move to the bottom of the third. Michael Chavis is now up at the plate. He is going to strike out on the curveball. Christian Pache now up at the plate. Former top prospect with the Braves, was traded to Boston a couple years ago. As that ball does have the distance go over the Green Monster, not quite. It would be a triple for Pache, almost another inside the park home run. Pittsburgh is rather lucky they didn't miss that one up. The following batter would be intentionally walked, so that sets the force out at second. And that'll bring up Rafael Devers, who would be out. And then the following batter would also be out, lines it to first. Josh Bell makes the play. Pittsburgh gets out of a jam as we move to the fourth. Travis Swaggerty up. He's kind of not had a great start to his major league career. I believe this is his second hit, with his first hit being back in Game 1. That obviously didn't show, as that's a ground rule double for Swaggerty. Tony Kemp now up to the plate with 2 runners on and no outs. That ball is deep into right, and that one will score one. Can it drive in another? Yes, it does, as Francisco Mejia slides in safely. Pirates make it 5-0. Pitching change for Boston. Parker Dunshee is now in for the Red Sox. He's pitched in 4 innings this season and has allowed 4 runs, as there are 2 runners on for Josh Bell. Rips that one into center. Runner stays at third base, so the bases are now loaded. Score remains 5-0, but this is an interesting opportunity here for Benny Lang. Lang has already had the bases loaded once today, and unfortunately, no grand slam once again, but that'll be an RBI single for Lang, who has driven in 4 runs now today, and the Pirates lead at 6-0. Dylan Carlson now up at the plate, rips this one into center. That'll drop for a hit. 2 runs will score, and the Pirates have turned this game into an all-out blowout, as it is now 8-0. Dylan Carlson has driven in like 4 runs now as well. Brian Hayes now up, grounds this one to third. Excellent play by Rafael Devers. Boston turns 2-5-4-3 double play. Their infield is more chemistry than a science project. Just getting out of that disaster of an inning alive as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Willie Calhoun will strike out. Still 4 scoreless for Keller. Let's move to the fifth now, where the scoreless game comes to an end as Manny Pena gets the 2-run double, and the Sox will now make it 5-2. This game a little bit closer as Nick Pratto up at the plate. Better double check that swing. That'll end the inning. Pirates comfortably lead it 8-2 through 5, and we go to the 6th. Benny Lang, he's driven in a run every single at bat today, and that is going to Not actually, it will stick, as it's an error at second by Chavis. Bell will score, and it's now 9-2. Pitching change for the Sox. Harleen Garcia is now in for Boston. He would get out of the inning alive as we move to the bottom of the sixth. Conforto up, and that would be a double play. Kemp to Cruz to Bell, as a good play there. Anthony Santander now up later in the sixth inning. That one will go off of the wall out in left center field, off of the green monster. So now there are 2 runners on and no outs. Pirates are still keeping Mitch Keller in the game, by the way. Michael Chavis up at the plate. That one is going to be hit into right. That'll drive in a run. They won't call it an earned run because the runner who scored actually got on via an error, so I guess that's helpful for Mitch Keller's ERA. Another run would actually score because of absolutely terrible defense, and then the inning would come to an end with a fly out into left and most likely ending Mitch Keller's day. Let's move to the 7th inning now. Into the game for the Pittsburgh Pirates would be Wander Suero. This is his 2nd game of the season, acquired in an offseason trade with the Washington Nationals. Manny Pena up at the plate. He's just a window shopper. Say it with me, kids, because he's just looking. Rafael Devers now up at the plate. He goes down on the cutter. Very good start to the game for Wander Suero. Brandon Workman now in for Boston. He's pitched in 1 1/3 innings. He's already allowed like 3 runs, so that's fun. As Benny Lane is up at the plate, he's had a busy day today, and that one would be hit deep in the left, and Santander with a really tough catch, running into the green monster. Very nice defensive play. Cooper Casad would now come in for the top of the 9th for the Red Sox, former member of the Pirates organization, and he would get through the inning pretty easily as we move to the bottom of the 9th inning. Raisel Iglesias now in for Pittsburgh. This is his Pirate debut after spending his first 6 years of his career at the divisional rival Cincinnati Reds. As his first batter as a Pirate, Anthony Santander goes deep into right center. Santander's first home run of the season, and the Sox will now make it 9-5. It's a little bit closer, but still probably not going to win this game for Boston, as Manny Pena does strike out looking. That's how this game will end. The Pirates win it by a final score of 9-5. The bats went wild in the 4th inning, scoring 5 runs. The pitching once again was serviceable. Mitch Keller was good enough. The bullpen was fine. 3 innings, only allowed 1 run. Wander Suero pitched very well. Boston's bats were They scored 5 runs, but only on 7 hits. So that'll end the episode. Next episode, we will continue the month of April and also go over the minor league opening days. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. Peace.